Thanks for joining us on this live stream. We're coming to you live from a port in Shanghai. My name is Lynn.
And my name is Fanyi. You can also call me Fanny if you like.
I'll call you Fanny. So we have something very interesting lined up for you today. As you can see the boat behind us. So this baby is going to be setting sail for the Arctic Ocean in just a couple of days.
Yes, and this baby is going to do a 4-month-long non-stop sailing in the Arctic Ocean, which is the first time of all human beings.
That's right.
Yeah.
And non-stop being, I mean, it means that the boat is ideally hoping not to make any pit stops at any of the ports. Yes, so yeah, we'll see what happens in 4 months. But just to give you a sense of what we're actually observing right now here. These are actually drinking water.
Waters,
right?
yes.
Fanny. So it says Taishan.
Taishan is from Taishan Mountain. Those waters are from Taishan Mountain, which is also the captain's hometown.
Yes, in Shandong province.
Yes, in Shandong.
Right, so I think we understand that there's about 3 tons of water that they're going to bring on board.
They will hold everything they need in the coming 4 months. But I believe they have the preparation for about a year or something. The storage
Wow,
is...
a year?
Yeah,
so it's more than double the preparation that you're actually having. And also, we are actually not wearing any shoes because we have to be barefooted.
Well, this is the first
going
live
on board.
streaming. I think we don't wear shoes.
Yes. So very exciting stuff. And we have our captain, the main man for today. The main man for today. 张老师，你好，谢谢抽出时间。
All right, let's go. Get on board. 翟老师先跟我们介绍一下这一次去北极的这个行程吧。
好的，这是我们的一个树图，这是关于这个北冰洋的一个路线。我简单给你说一下。我们是从6月30号从上海起航，经韩国、
we will set off from June the 30th from Shanghai, and we will pass to South Korea, Japan, and then we reach the Bering Sea, Russia, Norway, the Greenland Sea, reach the Baffin Bay, and then reach Canada, and we will also travel to the United States and back to the Bering Strait, and in the end, back to Shanghai. So for the whole journey, it is about 15,000 sea miles, and it will take us about 4 months.
And you multiply by 1.8, which is for kilometers. 翟老师，哪个是最困难的一个？
最困难是，这是一个，这是
So
东北
which part do you think is the most challenging
俄罗斯
area?
到挪威的这个航线是东北航道。
So this is the route from Russia to Norway, and also we have a route from the west to the north. But this route is not open here. We have several straits there. So this is a truncated sea, and also it's very dangerous here. There was several floating ice on this area. And on the northeast route, at around July the 25th, one route will be opened. And I think this part is more challenging for us.
Meet any of these challenges.
他说这些障碍、这些困难，咱们现在做了哪些准备？
那个我们有很多套预案，就是说，比方说我们现在是
We have done a lot of preparation. We have a lot of backup plans. So, for example, when we are passing this strait, I have received a lot of backup plan from the expert team. For example, I understand the change of the weather, the change of the condition of the ice. They will send us the data on a daily basis. And when we travel to this area, when we are traveling to the northwest route, it is very challenging for us. When I say there are a lot of risks, it means for the Arctic Ocean, some of the places actually they are named after some of our pioneers. For example, the Bering Sea.
Shall we check out the front deck of the bow? Okay. After you guys. Okay. So we are actually having this exclusive sneak peek into this boat, Fanny. Yeah. Oh, and we're stepping over the water again. I mean, it's all scattered everywhere.
这个，这是我补给的水。
Yes.
这是淡水，这是我们老家的水。
啊，这是喝的吗？
泰山水。
饮水，喝水。
对，
喝的
就是我们在
到了北极喝的都是
喝的我们老家的水。
啊。
但是我们老家可以推荐一下，我们老家有三美，白菜豆腐水。
So yeah.
So actually, we have like 3 specialties in my hometown.
I was expecting him to also say maybe beautiful people, like 美女。
有啊，
有
山美、水美、人更美。
So where we are right now is the front deck. 对，can you briefly introduce the function here?
那个我这条船是一个铝合金的，就是双桅帆船。那个船长是25米，高度这个桅杆的高度是27
length for the sailboat is 25 meters, and the height for the mast is about 27 meters, and the width is about 6 meters. I believe this is the largest sailboat in China. The reason I chose aluminum alloy is because this is more suitable to travel on the Arctic Ocean. If you're using other materials, if they collide with the ice, the boat will be damaged. But if we are using the aluminum alloy, it may not damage the internal parts of the sailboat.
不用敲了，是都有，它不像就是玻璃钢和碳纤维容易脆嘛，还有个韧性。
I see. 那这个它的速度
So all in all, for this kind of material is more endurable. So what is the fastest speed for this boat? So if we have a good wind condition, it's 10 to 12 knots per hour. So 1 knot means 1 mile. 1 mile equals 1 sea mile equals to 1.852 kilometers. So basically, if we're referring to the sea miles, it's about like 80 kilometers per hour.
对，也是看大小对吧？来分。
So it is quite fast for this sailboat.
我们能不能 Can he set the sail?
待会儿我可以给你做一下升帆的。
我们现在能看吗
OK。
Oh, this is great. We can actually watch in
Later I will
person.
do
By the
a
way,
demonstration.
everybody online now, you can leave your comment below. If you have any question about the sailboat or anything about the Arctic Ocean, you can leave your comment below, and we will answer the questions in our live streaming.
We'll try to answer them.
Oh, yeah, we'll try.
Yeah.
Or we can do this answer like in the future live streaming, because CGTN is going to cover the live streaming for 4 months. Well, at least 4 months, I guess.
Yep. So yeah, if you have any questions for our captain right here, do leave us a comment on any of our social media platforms. Ooh. Watching the man in action, huh? Yes, come over. So Fanny, the purpose of setting sail is,
I guess they're setting the sail in different size to hold the wind and then keep the boat sailing to continue.
So it's where you actually kickstart the boat to push them out into the ocean. Yeah, like what's the purpose of this?
您能给我们解释一下这个帆就是升起来，它的目的是什么？
对，它目的是什么？
那个，因为这个帆船是靠帆。吃上风以后就有动力了，它会兜着这个帆
on the sail by taking the strength of the power of the wind. So the sailboat is driven by the sail. So now we have already setting one part of the sail. So when we are traveling, by taking the power of the wind, it will be sailing very fast. And this one is manually. And also we have a electric sail.
Yes. You have to hurry after the captain. Let's see if we can try to get our cameraman inside here. So we can see Captain Zhai. He's clicking on some switches. 所以这个有2个选择是吧？翟老师，一个是手动的。Okay.
So we have like 2 choices. Either you could set the sail manually, or you could use this automatic device.
Oh. I would love to take a picture from outside. I'm not sure if you guys, our audience, can actually see it. Yes.
And I believe this sailboat
Yes.
has 4 sails.
4 sails,
So
that's
once
right.
they all set up,
Wow.
wow.
这是主帆升起来了。
咱们一共有多少？
刚才我是手动，手动的话因为比较慢，那个
So just now I just hoisted the sail manually, but it is quite slow. But if you use the automatic device, it will be much faster. So we have like 4 sails altogether, and this is the main one.
4个都能是动，
都是，就是你全部升起来以后，它会动力就会更大。
Okay.
So when you're
Okay, cool,
hoisting
wow.
all 4 sails, and then it will be more power for the
比方说
boat.
我们前边有一个室内的舵，还有一个背后的一个舵。
For example, for this sailboat, we have an oar inside, and also we have another one at the back side of the
完了以
sailboat.
后，这个是绞盘，绞盘就是我
So
要
basically,
调整
I
帆的时候，
steer
如果是我一
the
转
boat
向，
here,
帆要打到这边来的话，那我就把这
and
边的
also
帆
I
分开
have
以后
another device
挤这
to
边的帆。
control the
我们
direction
刚才看到是那个
for
驾
the
驶
sailboat.
，right?
驾驶室
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we maybe
We can try
understand
that.
a little bit better?
看一下那个
跟
驾驶室。
跟你们
Where
介
you
绍一下。
navigate and yeah. Is this what you call a cockpit, right?
I call it captain seat.
Captain seat. I know, Fanny, you want to have a seat right here.
I actually have a block here. and
Yes.
I sit on the captain seat.
I saw that. 对，翟老师大概介绍一下这个最主要的功能是什么？
So Mr.
Oh,
Zhai,
can we
can
get
you
a
tell
cameraman
us
to see
more
the switches
about
that
this
he's actually-
steering room?
我
Okay, it's kind of like narrow here, but we will try to.
We'll try to manage.
Yes. Ooh, our cameraman is agile enough. So again, to our audience tuning in, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them on our social media platforms. If we don't get them sort of answered today, our teams in Beijing, they will try to get Captain Zhai to answer them and get back to you in the next few months on their journey.
And we're now on a sailing ship, which is going to take a 4-month nonstop journey in the Arctic Ocean,
Yes.
which is the first time of 4 human beings. And now it's Captain Zhai.
这个船是有一个内置机的，内置机它是为了便于。
So for this sailboat, we have an internal
超
engine.
过了8米，都需要一个内置机来进出港的。
So for some of the boats, after their length is above like 8 meters, we do need an engine to provide power for the sailboat.
那个这是很
Because in certain areas, we are not able to set the sail.
Maritime map, I
这
guess.
是你看我们在这个位置，然后拐过去，这是东方明珠，然后出来以后，这就是
Then this is the Oriental Pole.
长江，然后出来长江，就是长江入海口。
The Yangtze
然后我们
River.
的路线是从
So the mouth of the river,
苏岛
and also I would like to talk about the route.
这边，
So from Shanghai, and then we are traveling
现在
to
我们这个方向，这是白令海峡。
the South Korea and passing Japan and reach the Bering Straits, and then we go west. We reach Russia and went to go to Norway, Iceland, and the Greenland Sea,
南海
the Baffin Bay,
进了这个海峡以后，我们就往下走，因为这个地方全
and the Davis Straits. So when we enter in this area, we'll go down because for this whole area is covered by ice.
然后这是风向仪，这个看风向的话，现在是这个风的
And for this one is a
风的
wind power device, so we could understand the speed of the wind and also the direction of the wind.
像30节、40节、50节。
哦，哇，那这个超慢了，这个。
So we'll look at the figure to understand the speed of the wind.
那 那这
完了这，对，这是蓝色是，就是风的方向。
So that it is the front part of the sailboat. So we keep monitoring the direction, the orientation of the wind, and also we are capturing the direction of the boat.
光纤螺筋，光纤螺筋这个，它是磁螺筋的话是在高纬度的时候失灵了，我们做的是
So this one is a fiber monitor.
来保证我们的一个航向。
哦。
是因为
This is it's like a compass to tell us where is the direction.
要异星通信要超过
Also, we are having some satellite communication devices.
是没有信号的，所以说我们现在是
So if they're in the high altitude, sometimes there's no signal.
说到时候我们直播
So that's why we are having another communication device here.
还是卫星不行，我们
So in the future, when we're having the live streaming,
不会的，
so we will have the backup satellite to support the live
So he's got like a
streaming.
backup, right? Like sort of like a double the protection.
咱们到长滩。
Okay. So if like weather conditions are really bad
看
here,
着图更明显。
哦，我们看了3个，刚才一个，第二个、第三个。Yeah.
这是这不上海嘛，从这个地方走，走到
So this is Shanghai.
我们走的是北冰洋。
Then going up, we are going to the Bering Straits. Because we are traveling to the Arctic Ocean,
但是也是最冷的一个洋。从
it is the coldest ocean in the world. From Russia to Norway to the Iceland, the Greenland Sea, and then we circle around, reach to the Arctic Ocean. Which part is your most favorite one, the exciting one? So
北冰洋过去的时候，
actually, I like the northwestern route. Actually, it is the first time for human beings to circumnavigate the globe
2010年
towards the Arctic Ocean.
那个挪威的一个
In the past, people like to take on the northeastern route.
不停靠环北冰洋，也是首次。
I believe in the past, people try to have this circumnavigation at different stops, but this time it's a non-stop journey. I just have a comment here. People are asking how many countries that we will travel to.
韩国
So after we leave China, first we will arrive in South Korea,
海参
Japan,
白令海
Russia,
峡经俄罗斯，从俄罗斯，
the Bering Straits, and then we will pass
然后丹麦、
Russia,
格陵兰，然后加拿大，从加拿大
Norway,
再到
Denmark,
美国的
the
阿拉斯
Greenland
加
Sea, Canada,
然后到白令海峡，
Alaska in United States,
就是
and going
实际上
back
我
to
们
the
要宣
Bering
告
Straits.
首次
And actually, when we are touring
结束。
a circle to the Bering Straits,
So again,
then
is this gonna
we
be-
will
is planning
announce
to
the
do this
completion
trip,
of the
like you said,
circumnavigation.
non-stop, which means that if it's done, it's going to be the first ever. So not making any pit stops on any of the ports. So I mean, it's exciting stuff. Before I let you, before we leave this sort of spot, I want to ask just a couple of questions. If weather conditions are really bad, what kind of sort of like emergency, sort of like preemptive measures does he have to face that? From here, what can he sort of do? What can he navigate around here?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one is the weather, right?
Yeah, like
so many questions.
Is it like
Weather.
which buttons does he have to?
那个天气的情况，就是现在是怎么预计，然后在这块儿怎么能够观测到一些跟天气相关的信息？
我们现在是把北冰洋近12年的，将近15年的吧。
So for the Arctic Ocean, we have collected some of the weather information in the past 15 years. We try to find a pattern about the weather, the changes of the weather.
15艘船，然后几航母。
And also there is a cargo company, and every year they have like 12 to 15 cargo ships that travel to the Arctic Ocean. So we have gathered a lot of information about the Arctic Ocean, and also we have a ground control center to give us some forecast of the weather.
机构，然后也是给我们在分析这个季节。
And also we have some satellite agencies in China to analyze the weather condition.
现在方便吗？还是稍后？
方便方便。
Actually, I could have those information available on my cell phone.
Say if this were to be done, is it gonna world records.
我的手机了。
Wow, more water. Drinking water from Taishan. So he's got the big packages and the small ones too.
Yes.
They use plastic bag instead of bottles. So just keep everything, keep all the waste in a small bag instead of using a big room to keep all the waste. I mean, for a month.
Yeah, and this you can actually vacuum it, right? I mean, assuming after you're done, so that's when you pack stuff for your luggage, you can. So I'm not sure if we actually introduced Captain Zhai Mo. He actually, this is not his first trip. He's been sailing for 21 years.
Yes, he is, and I think he the biggest adventure he took before was the one that he sailed only by himself around the whole world.
On an unpowered boat, right?
Sailboat.
Okay.
昨天的时候
2天，
刚
我们看一下这个。
刚给我
Okay,
6月
let's check
23
out
号
his
的时候
His map on his phone.
这是6月，这是6月23号发的。然后现在是
This is the information I received on June the 23rd.
完了靠近俄罗斯这个地方。
So you could see the ice melting in the Bering
蓝色是化冰的。现在
Strait. And also the area close to the Russia, the ice is also melting. According to our forecast, so it takes about like 20 days for us to travel from Shanghai to the Bering Sea. So by July the 20th, we will be arriving at the Bering Strait. The ice will be melting by then.
到这个地方，一直在航行。
So for these 20 days, it is a non-stop journey from Shanghai to the Bering Strait. So if we arrive at the Bering Strait in advance, if the ice is not melting, that it will be a waste of our resources. For example, our food, our water. So we have to catch that window. According to the analysis of the experts, so hopefully we could arrive at the Bering Strait by July the 25th. So that is the ideal time. So if we could reach the Bering Strait before July the 25th, and then it would be quite ideal for us, especially for the environment, because the ice have been melting. And also for the Pacific Ocean, the situation is quite good. There will not be ice there. And if we look at the map, if you see some areas covered with the white color, meaning that those areas are covered by ice. So I think also quite difficult for us to enter into the Greenland Sea. And for certain areas, they're covered by ice all year long, so it is very difficult for us to enter into their areas. We have to prepare for the worst scenario. For example, what happens if we are being frozen? And also we have to consider what happens if we run into some polar bears. So maybe we have to get prepared for navigating back. We have to cover the sailboat. And also we need to take the clothes with us to prevent us from the coldness.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And if we run into the polar bear, we also need to prepare some equipment to protect us.
Let's rehash that. Let's. This is to the polar bear.
So here I have a
He
toolbox.
might. So they're foreseeing that they might actually bump into some of these bears.
这是信号枪，
To keep them away
这是我们的信号枪的子弹。
这是会伤，是只是让他们
驱赶
啊 ，OK。To shoot them
So we're
away.
just trying to drive away the polar bears.
but won't hurt them.
就把那子弹打上以后，
What is the likelihood? What's the percentage like of them actually bumping into bears?
把那枪，
刚刚问的问题有多大的可能会碰到？
对，可能性有多高吗？就是
一旦冻住的话，是100%就能看到。
Well, actually, once our boat was getting frozen, so we were running to
fireworks. Oh wow! Is it
the polar bear.
is it to celebrate?
No, it's for the bear.
For to shoot them away?
这都是为了预防 北极熊对我们的袭击的。这个。
Wow. Wow.
It's just to protect ourselves.
Wow, he's got everything prepared. Yeah, it's not. It's just. But are they in any way harmful, the bears? I mean, could be potentially, right?
我们还准备了。
I don't think so. I mean, if
yeah.
it's very loud, the bear will leave.
我们还准备了班斧。
班斧。
想看看吗？
Oh yeah.
班斧。Sorry, I don't.
Well, pictures tell 1,000 words, so we can.
这是消防斧。
翟老师看过吗？翟老师看过 polar bear 吗？
It's a kind of axe. So we're saying this is a kind of axe for fire service.
对对对。
I don't even understand the
这也是
Chinese.
在
I mean, how can
消
I translate
防
it?
自救的时候。
It's an axe, right? I think so. Has he seen?
So this is also for self-protection.
不是，万一北极熊靠近我们，
靠近是
我们作为防卫。
So when the polar bear is approaching us, we could have these axes to protect ourselves.
没有，但是我查的资料的话，那北极熊战役。
I have never seen polar bear before, but I have checked some of the information because I think the polar bear is very tall.
Wow, I mean, wow, it's far. He might wanna take a selfie.
来，咱们看一下船体。
对对对，我们就跟着您走啊。
我带了一个植物。
一个植物。
对，一块花。
它意义是什么呢
I also bring some plants with me.
因为那地方太寒冷了，我希望就是它能在我回航的时候。
Because I think in the Arctic Ocean is quite cold. So hopefully these plants still alive when they're coming back.
我备了2本书，这本书是冰层里边的。
I also bring 2 books with me.
I want to have a look at it actually. 就具体为什么这2本书是知识吗？还是？
这是我们所了解，因为我们现在目前就是说能所记载的书很少，因为北冰洋毕竟。
So actually there are very few information about the journey to the Arctic Ocean. This Arctic Ocean is quite remote. And personally, Mr. Zhai has never been to Arctic Ocean before.
Then he became a sailor.
Famous
Yes.
painter, actually.
然后你说是这个画画跟这个是息息相关的，跟帆船。
对，因为当时我接触帆船的时候，就因为在新西兰搞我的画展。
I think like painting is have a lot to do with the selling.
Company. Okay, so what do we have here?
客厅，非常抱歉你们来的时候，正好我在做补给，这是叫。
This is the living room.
536给我赞助的牦牛。
I'm trying to pack some of the supplies here.
海拔、高度啊，生产的那个就是。
So this is some of the beef that have been provided.
High altitude. This is produced in a high altitude.
我准备以牦牛劲儿的给北极熊播。
可是翟老师单单不是吃
So if I eat a lot of beef, then I have the strength to fight with the polar bear.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hot here.
Very
I wish
narrow
I'm in the
too.
Arctic Ocean right now.
You want to join him on this trip?
介绍一下我俄罗斯的大厨。
Hello.
Hi, Misha.
Привет, привет, привет. Russian.
他能做非常好吃可口
So
的
this is a chef.
披萨。
He's able to cook a lot of delicious food like pizza.
非常好吃，非常好吃。
还有那个叫
beet soup.
待会儿我让你上去。
可以，我
刚
们得
刚做出来，
去看看。
看热
We're
的。
gonna try that.
Yes. So 这个是
Maybe later on you could try some of the food
is it
prepared by
powered
the chef.
gas? How do we actually cook something?
I think we just did.
But can I have a look? Because I didn't get to see the process just now. Yeah. Ah, right. Oh.
Wow.
我太大了。
所以这4个月内都可以在这里煮的。
对，煮还有我们有很多的就是
So actually you could cook
方式，一个煤气，
during these 4 months.
还有那种自热的。啊，你看一下这个，这是我
We have the gas and also we have the heater.
系统做的翟墨专用的，也是这家公
This
司
some of
给
my
我们
food.
部队上的野战部队做的食品，就是每天有
Actually for this company,
和晚餐
they dedicated and prepare food for the military, and also he gave a lot of support to me. For example, he prepared some of the instant food, and some of the dry vegetables and meat. So every day I will take 2 meals, and that's enough.
就还有这个羊汤呢，对吧？看到这个美味羊汤。
对，还有羊汤。
Yeah, wow.
羊汤、鸡汤。
They've also got all these like chicken soup.
Also, we have the lamb soup.
Okay, so these are like pre-made meals.
那个航海离不开酒，一会邀请你们喝我的酒。
And of course, we have some alcohol.
特别会喝酒。
那个山东人好酒也好客。
Wow. How many bottles?
The Shandong people were quite enthusiastic, and also we love drinking wine.
到了50箱了。
50箱。
就50瓶。
Actually, I prepared like 50 boxes.
6瓶。
300瓶。
300瓶，能在4个
So
月。
each box we have like 6 bottles. So I have bring like 300 bottles
一会
of
儿让你
liquor.
品尝一下我这个酒。
Every day I will drink
这是
2
航空
bottles.
的，
Oh, okay. So what else do we
几
have
乎给
here?
我送的酒比水还多。
Wow.
And these are also some of the wines and the liquors sent by my friends, and these are also liquor.
白酒吗？这个？啊，白的啊 I see. So it's a famous Chinese liquor. 白酒。
那边呢？那边
那边是洗手间，正好我在做维修。
啊。
这个地方也会拿来做储物吗？
这个地方是将会，这个地方全是装。
And also we have a small restroom.
外边那个
泰山水。
And for this area, we will pack these places with the drinking water.
水是3吨。
So how many supplies we have brought? We have stored like 3 tons of
然后再加上其他大概有6吨。
water and 2
这个
tons
船可以
这个
容纳
of the food.
自重是将近60吨。
60吨啊。Okay, so less 少过
So weight is about like 60 tons.
要对10%实际上是。
那个是最重，它能承纳的一个10%。
再加10吨
没问题啊，所以其实还有
因为
空间的
我们。现在目前的人数可能在3到5个人，就说我这条船。
So right now we have like only like 3 to 5 sailors on board.
船员都确定了吗？
So the capacity for this sailboat boat is 9 people. Could you introduce some of the sailors? So we have one Russian sailor, the chef. I get to know him for about like 15 to 16 years. We used to travel through the maritime Silk Road.
曾经跟着厦门号一起环过球的。
And we also have another sailor who have been with me
So
to
everyone on board has a
circumnavigate
different
the
skill set. 就
globe.
每个人在船上有不同的技术来去 complement. Because sailing, really, different people should have different skill sets for
Yes,
that.
and all the sailors on
慢一
board
点。
they're all very experienced.
Yes, they have to bring to the table what they can. 慢一点。Oh, also,
这是加拿大的朋友给我的，
这是
送了让我什么一定要从北冰洋那儿。
This is a gift from my Canadian friend.
口腔啊，各个方面。
oral spray
缺
manuka
维生
honey.
素啊，如果容易溃疡啊，就用这个喷一下。
你们会刷牙吗？
哦
这4个月。
我们4个月是不刷牙。
So actually, it will help to cure some of the oral health.
不会洗澡的。
不洗澡。
So during the 4 months, we will not take any baths. We will not rinse our mouths.
Just curious.
We brush
when
our
you go on the
teeth.
trip where you can't shower for 4 months, leave a comment because apparently Captain Chai is going to be doing that. So that's going to be like a
Spray.
可以代替刷牙的一个
Yeah.
So it's actually to replace
可以对口腔
brushing
的
your
卫
teeth.
生啊，
Yes.
包括溃疡，就是。
Oral hygiene. Okay, so 这有点热，想问一下，这里面是有空调的吗 ？Is there air
这个
conditioning？
这个船上没有空调。
没有空调，那可是你在
我
海洋
们航行
上就会。
There's no air
在上海
conditioning
嘛，
here.
因为现在是37、8度的。
Oh yes.
然后如果是我们到了离开上海往北走
Because in
的话，
Shanghai right now it's
天气
quite
会
hot.
越来越凉，
Yeah.
越来
So
越
when
冷。
we're leaving Shanghai and travel north, and then
Ah,
it will
yes.
get cooler and colder.
先让我们的那个摄像老师先下。
20度。
Wow, minus 20 degrees Celsius.
So when we're going to the Arctic Ocean, the lowest temperature will reach the minus 20
慢一
Celsius
点啊，
degree.
慢一点。
看一下，我们连浴盆里边都装上了水，看吧。哎呦，开山水一袋袋的。
You can see, even though we have a top here, we have filled this top with the drinking water.
这个洗浴的，你看这个地方也要装满水，就是我们不能洗澡。
So for every space available, we will like pack them with the drinking water. So there's no place for us to take a bath.
So they're making use of every single
Try to make
space they
good use
have.
of every corner of
这个
the
是
sailboat.
你看下边我们在装水。
好，小心点。
这个地方也是。
So there's storage. They're keeping the water inside too. Yeah, they're using every single space they have, right?
For the water,
Yes.
the food they have, and alcohol.
Yes.
只要有空间，我们要装上水。这是我的船长
The
室。
captain's room.
The captain's room. 介绍一下你这里面有什么呢？
哎呀，这是
衣服还是什么之类的？
这是我的记录整个的，因为这是相当于我一个工作站嘛。 就是我们把拍的视频啊，
So this is my workstation.
到时候我们就传给你们。
So for some of videos we will upload those videos from here.
还会拍纪录片吗？
这是我那法韩的。
And also I put a bottle of wine here.
Clothing.
我们可以大概这就是是 is it 羽绒服 is it yeah we can do that
咱们是在路上还要拍纪录片是吗？
对，这是我们想航拍。
So we are also filming a documentary during the journey.
Oh wow, 5 drones.
Yeah, he's
We
going to
also bring 5
Morning.
UAV with us.
因为这次我们还有一个承担的责任是，我是联合国环境署，然后
One of our mission for the journey this time
大使，然后希望说也通过我的这种航
Is
行，
that this time I will serve as an ambassador to safeguard nature. So through my navigation and through my journey, I will capture the changes of the ice. So people around the world will pay attention to the climate change and the global warming issue.
人来说是带了很大的，
Because the global warming
应该说带了很大的灾难性的。
对。
你比方说，现在全球变暖又挺前几
a
年
lot
的
of
时候，科学家就
disasters
写过
to
这
the
样
world.
的文章，就是说南极和北极
In the past few years, we do see some of the articles published by some of the scientists. They are talking about the melting of the ice, and this will bring in some of the variants of the virus.
I see.
And for example, the scientists will try to understand whether this virus will be originated from the Arctic Pole.
因为这条航线毕竟有太大的风险。
Okay.
So this time, we will also gather more information and bring those information to the experts.
For the research. I think we can get
What
one of the
what what
clothing.
what kind of data though? I mean, how
of
did
the
they plan to?
Arctic Ocean, I guess.
So like samples?
是会收集，比如说
对
路上会收集
什么
像
samples？
那个
冰啊
样品啊。
所以你会去
对
拿
就是我
理解。
们采，就是做一下。
We will collect some of the samples of the ice
Okay.
Of the
Yeah, I
And
think
also
they
we
definitely
collect,
should do that.
some
Okay, should we?
Okay.
of the
yeah.
water.
拿一个
Let's go
吧。
upstairs.
Yes, yes.
It's like
Hot. Okay.
这是我们一区的工作站。
就是刚刚您说的那个电话。
对，不是，叫
This is also a workstation.
海事卫星的工作站，一星的工作站。
我们的摄像在老师好看着。Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. What
这个
else?
是去南极北极的。
这个
羽绒是专门给啊。
它是
So this is the down coal preparing.
I see. Even though it's
When we
very light,
enter
but it's
into the
specifically
Arctic
for
Pole,
the Arctic
South Pole.
Ocean. 行，我们先上去。好。哦，慢一点。
Oh my god.
Really, really sweating.
This is very hot.
What else can we check out from the boat?
来，我们先尝一下
可以
丽莎做的面包吧。
好呀，好呀。
Lisa is the chef.
His Russian
Maybe we can
co-pilot,
try
right?
the bread.
先让你尝尝。
看这个。
Russian bread.
Oh, you've got sausages inside too. 这个是一个俄罗斯的一个，is it？它这个是一个特殊的一
俄
个，
罗斯的风味吗？
对吗？
对。 你可以品尝一下这个感觉。
Yes, it is a Russian
在
bread.
在船上做的。It's really fresh. It's actually made
Actually, he
on the
made
boat.
it on this boat.
应该是当天做吧，挺新鲜的，刚刚做的啊。
刚刚做好。
好吃。
是不是吃这面包？
太好吃了。
是不是吃这面包？是不是拿点酒呢？
哦。
拿点酒可以。
我看。Up to you if you want to. If you want to.
I know you want.
No, if you want.
喝点吗？
哇哦。
Wow.
我介绍一下，这是
There's a
你的
secret storage here for alcohol. 翟老师平时会在这里放蛮久的吗？
是。快点。
我看你们和我都可以尝一尝。
快点。
Do you want to try
So we're
some?
gonna ask Captain Zhai a couple of questions again to our audience. Any questions that you have? 谢谢。Please leave them on our social media platforms. We will consolidate them and get back to you. Try to get the captain to answer them and get back to you in the next few months. 你也喝吧，Fanyi是吧？
我可以啊。
Cheers.
We just got a comment from our audience, and she's asking. So first of all, how much is this boat? And the next question is where do we get this money? So 我们有一个观众提问，就是咱们的这个船，一个是多少钱，另外是这个资金，航行的这个资金是从哪儿来的？
我有愿力。
翟老师说先喝一口。
那喝一口。
好。
How's that? Good.
It's good.
Oh, I want to try some.
Please try some.
喝了以后，我感觉说话就有底气了。
有底气了，可以答这个问题了，是吧？
After I drink some beer, and then I think I'm able to answer all the questions.
我本来是画画的，其实我到每次航行的时候都
I used to be a painter. Every time I start to sell, I will sell some of my works. So this is an investment for my journey. And also this time we have received a lot of funds from the local government.
毕竟这艘船的投资是比较大的，就光这艘船的话。
Actually, for this sailboat, it costs a
这
lot.
是新的船对吧？它有
So at least tens of millions.
谢谢。So
of
it's a new
RMB.
boat, right? Has it been anywhere before? Has it been anywhere
这
before?
不是一个新船吗？
不是一条新船，这是一个德国的一条船，就是德国制造的。这艘船。
This is not a new one, and this boat is made from
So
Germany.
it's been sailing for 20
但是它是
years.
这艘船是一个定制帆船，专门为了取代。
But for this sailboat, it's a customized
for
version.
the Arctic Ocean. I see.
光
Okay.
这条船选的时候，应该有这种梦想的时候，因为大概我有这想法航北冰洋的话，应该是。
When I started to have the idea to travel to the Arctic Ocean, I believe it is 19 years ago. At that time, I was in the Netherlands and trying to select the sailboat for me to do this circumnavigation. Then I saw this specific boat made of Germany. I believe at that time the boat was frozen. It's quite icy, and but the boat is intact. So I think this boat is of good quality. And then 19 years has passed.
对 Yes, maritime Silk Road around China on the
There's
road.
a lot of stories in this 19 years. I mean, this dream has.
对，就整整20年，就是可能最好的一个 memory 回忆是哪个？
我接触航海应该是21年了嘛。
对，21年。
99年就是接触航海，在新西兰我买的。
I've been start my global journey for over 21 years, and I started my first journey is in 2009. And at the beginning, I bought a sailboat. It's quite small. It's only 7 meters. I visited some of the areas in the Indian Ocean. And also, I traveled to some places that are very famous for painting.
在那个地方是怎么生活的。
不知我们观众朋友是
So
刚才提到这个国家，
that is
不是来自
located
哪
in
个
the
国
South
家的，可以
Pacific
给我们
Ocean.
留言，对吧？If you happen to
So
come from
I
any of
used
the
to
countries that you
visit the
mentioned just now,
Tahiti.
drop us a hello, or even any questions that you have. And just to quickly recap, we're actually on a boat right now that will set sail for the Arctic Ocean on a 4-month journey. So yeah, we have firsthand, we're right now talking to Captain Zhai Mo. So any questions for Captain, please drop us a comment.
Yeah, and you can also leave the questions about Zhai Mo's, our captain's stories, because our captain went through the Chinese the maritime Silk Road twice. In 2015 and 2016, I believe.
Yes.
And he also did how to say that again?
Circumnavigated the Earth.
Yeah, tour around the world, and he did that in 2007 to 2009, only by himself.
2 years, 8 months.
It's impossible, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
for me, it's impossible.
Yeah.
就是您可以跟观众介绍一下，就是您有很多故事会在今后的生态的系列直播里陆续跟大家在。
Maybe Mr. Zhai, you can tell us
Thank you.
more stories about
A prompter
your
from our
navigation.
colleague Cheng for there. Yeah. What can we expect in your next 4 months?
那个我航海应该说也不算太长，但是也毕竟
For my circumnavigation,
就是我希望能通过
it's meant to be around like 20 years to do the circumnavigation. Through this 4-month journey,
的航海怎么
I hope during these 4 months I will tell you more stories about my journey, also including some stories. For example, I encountered some of the pirates when I traveled to the maritime Silk Road, and there were some challenges and also some dangers I used to meet in the past journey.
Wow.
And also the Russian chef. And
CGTN.
we actually
CGTN.
has a lot of difficult time. Please stay tuned with CGTN.
就是关于4个月嘛，对吧？可是我觉得真不容易。
I also have a couple of questions. So you will be staying in the ocean for 4 months.
Psychological torment. So can you maybe elaborate? Yeah, what was some of the hardest times he experienced on the boat, and how did he overcome that?
但是说过去的这个航海当中，就是您在这个航海的过程当中遇到了很多这种很困难的，尤其是在这个精神上面，这个一个人独自航行啊等等，遇到了各种各样这种困难，你自己怎么去度过它？包括可能整个航行900多天的时候，连说话的人都没有。Even speak in the 900 days.
He didn't stop by any of the ports.
On the boat.
On the ports, he didn't make any friends with the locals at the ports.
He has friends this time, but he didn't have friends before. When he was doing the sailing around the world by himself.
But he stopped by at the ports.
He will stop by.
Yeah, then he can talk to the locals.
But other than that,
on the boat itself,
when he's facing to the challenges on the sea, and then.
Yeah, so I think he's thinking hard right now. Thinking hard.
就是在海上遇到这种困难的时候。
那个航海的时候最容易得的2种病，一个失语症，一个自语症。
So actually, sometimes you will got like psychological disease or trouble for the navigation. So for sometimes if you are spending the time on your own and you don't talk to others, maybe you're not able to speak. And some people may suffer the symptoms when you're staying in the ocean. And sometimes I just try to talk to myself. And when I arrive at certain places, when I try to talk to people, I think I'm a little bit retarded. I don't know what to speak. Maybe I just spent quite a long time not to talk.
Right. And he also mentioned previously that sailing, when you come back onshore, you can actually restore your spirit. It makes you physically more strong, but also it can restore your spirit. So can he elaborate on that? How has it made him like maybe a better person?
但是航海对于您来说，您曾经提到过航海其实是对您一个精神上的一种恢复吧。然后这个海洋到底对于您来讲是一个什么样的感受？在经历了这些航海以后，航海带给了您什么？
因为我是一个画画的，我希望就是我的绘画里面都有我的一种海洋元素，就是
I'm a painter.
从海洋里边找。
So I hope some of the elements of the ocean can be integrated into my work, so I could get some inspiration from the ocean. The reason I said I used to visit the Tahiti, and because that is a paradise for art, so I really want to pay a visit there to see how beautiful that place is, and maybe I could get some inspiration. So when I basically went to the South Pacific Ocean, I do see some of the artistic work there. For example, the tartan-sea paintings.
Actually, we are lacking music because music always makes the vibe better, right? What is his best memory as well? So of all his trips, the best memory. The view behind us is so pretty. Mm.
我曾经在南太平洋生活了将近10年。
Wow. So actually, I spent a really long time living in the South Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
It's a very beautiful music.
This is from
South Pacific Ocean. The islands.
因为南太平洋有生活了三种人，一个波利尼西亚人种、美拉尼西亚人种、米克罗尼西亚人种，他们的性格，我晒黑了跟当地人差不多。
So we have people from different.
It's a very nice, very soulful song. But before we wrap things up, yeah, any questions you have for Captain?
I think you just asked a question about the best memory he has. Right?
Yeah, what's out of all the places you've been to? 就可能最后1-2个问题了，就是最印象最深刻、最美好的记忆是什么呢？对。
我记得好像在书里也提到过。Our captain has a boat. He wrote a book.
Maybe it's refreshed. He's been to other places. Yeah. So what's your best memory?
其实每次航海的时候都会遇到恶劣天气啊，惊涛骇浪。其实航海给人
I will run into like different weathers and different challenges.
海面上静的跟玻璃一样。
So sometimes I can enjoy myself peacefully, and it is quite quiet. On the sea, I believe you all watched the movie.
也有恶劣的天气，浪高10几米的那种涌浪，跟过山。
The Faith, The Life of Pi, and sometimes you may run into a very adverse conditions of the weather conditions on the ocean, and it's quite fierce to look at the strong waves.
可以是一个人物啊，你可以遇到一个朋友啊。
So what impressed you most? For example, the not just about the ocean. Maybe you could name some countries or some people. So I'd like to talk about one of my challenge. I ran into pirates when I traveled on the Red Sea. I was quite struggled at that time because I was leading a team traveling to the Red Sea. So we are traveling, we could see many boats, the pirates' boats, they're actually surrounding us. And also they are bringing weapons. For our sailboat, it's relatively weak. So if they decided to fire, and actually they will destroy us. But we have to
So the first to actually
make sure that we have to stay safe.
Take action in that. I see. Okay. So yes, live stream.
我们今天的问题大概到这里，然后我们接下来4个月会一直跟您联系。
Yes. So this is not the end, not the final one. There will be live streams in the next 4 months still.
经历
Yeah.
未知的北冰洋。
Yes.
感受
Let's continue to explore the unknown
和
art
分享
ocean.
我的 环球。
Cheers, and all the best
Of course,
to
I will
safe
share my
and
stories
smooth
to you in
sailing
the
journey.
upcoming
In
4
the
months.
Arctic Ocean.
Yes.
Yes, and
Thank-
CGTN
yeah.
is going to cover the whole journey in the coming up 4 months.
Yeah,
Right?
there'll be a couple
This
of live
non-stop
streams.
sailing in the Arctic Ocean.
Yeah, so follow CGTN on our various social media platforms. And yeah, drop us again any comments for Captain Zhai, and we will try to get him to answer them in the next few months ahead.
Or
so
we will have
thank
some
you for joining
videos
us.
for those
Yes,
questions,
yes,
right?
yes. Since the signal on board here is so good, he's got backup, right? So that's it from us. Thank you. 可以跟我们国际朋友说声就是拜拜。
感谢观众，感谢能一直4个月之内，希望你们的
Thank
支
you
持
all。for your support.
Bye.
给我加油！
And thank you
Thanks
for
for
support.
joining us.